This was one of the two pieces that was shown in the Louvre in 2015. It's a photograph. I am not a photographer. And this was a proof to me as an individual, as an artist, that sometimes just because you establish an idea of who you should be, doesn't necessarily mean that's the thing for you. I had stopped painting because I was frustrated with my painting after painting for many years. I stopped completely for about 8 years and just put it aside while I just worked, had my normal job. And when I realized that I couldn't stop producing, so I started back at photography because I had no vested interest in it. I didn't care what the outcome was. And through a series of photographic things that I started working on, I decided, somebody came up to me and said, we want to do an exhibit about this concept of sticks and stones, right? The famous nursery rhyme or whatever you want to call it. And this idea came into my head because of personal things that had happened to me as a young person, to how to express that idea. And so I invited people into the studio. I set up a white backdrop just out of some sheet, and I asked people to talk to me about what they were experiencing or what they had experienced as children that were negative. And while they were sitting there, I wrote those words on their faces. So each person told me what their experiences were like. I had the camera going, and I wrote on them what the words were that they were expressing. And the pictures were very powerful, both for the people who had their portrait taken, and then very successful for me. Not purchase successful, which is quite an interesting distinction here, because that's really the focus of today's talk, right? The distinction between creativity and purchasability, right? No one bought the work, but I have shown the work in so many places because it resonates with people. To most of the people who are in the portrait said to me, I wouldn't have that hanging in my own home because it represents to them some of the things that they don't like about their own life experience. But it was still a very important thing for me to do. It was important because I got the chance to express something that I thought was valuable, and because it gave me an opportunity to show institutions what I was doing in a way that was a little different, a little more unusual, and that people got onto. It resonated, and that's a key aspect.